challenge. Yeah, as you can see, it's day 49. But when the day sets, it goes to be day 50. You can see 2, but when you flip, it says 50. I did it one in-game day early to make sure. I hope I'll lose how much days. Okay, minute it passed and already one person is watching. Bathroom break. Yes. I'm back. And would you look at that? It's day 50. I just was in the bathroom until boom, it went day 50. Okay. Now I can finally break these up. They're about to break. There's no sound that if you break a stone pickaxe or something. Whoa! 3 likes in 5 minutes. I'll get you on. I'll get you on, and I'm going to type you guys in the because you are viewers. Okay, I need 4 signs. Stop chatting! Guys, I'm running out of inventory. Ivona Nguyen, P4L. How did you get your message under review for just straight up typing emojis? Your name fits perfectly. Oh no! I run out of list of viewers. I have more torches than I thought. Welcome back, I'm Cypher. My skin is just Steve. It is maybe because I don't have skin. Maybe because my skin is not loaded. That's why I'm Steve. That's it. Your time out, buddy. I am Steve. Yeah, that's so popular. Also, the Minecraft movie is also almost turning a year old. It's almost 11 months old. Okay, now you can watch Roblox videos.
Hey guys, welcome back to another natural Please stop. I just want to record my intro, okay? So anyway, today we're gonna survive this disaster first try. I don't know what that
No.
Okay, why is everyone
Wait, Sigma Bardo?
The disaster? Uh-oh. Alright, well, I'm gonna get into the trusty hot dog stand, where the whole server is also hiding. So one lightning strike and it's all over. Oh. Alright, well, some of them survived. Guys, I have big news. Extraterrestrial life has been discovered on natural disaster survival. Oh, gee, Shrek is in the lobby. I want to see Shrek interact with the alien. I think that would be great content. It's really
Okay,
struggling to
okay, please stop typing too much.
Oh,
No. Oh my god.
Shrek has flown away. He said this to the aliens, so maybe that was just karma. Let's see what the alien does with the excavator here. Oh. Yeah, there's no point in surviving this round. Oh, this is a big disaster in the parking lot right now. Nobody knows how to drive. Somehow Shrek managed to fit in this vehicle. Uh-oh. Everyone evacuate. There's no time to be sad. Get out of my car, kid. Shrek, you should probably get out of your car. There's a tsunami coming. Oh, he's driving into the store. Shrek, you gotta get out of here, Shrek. Oh, why is that guy flying away? Oh no, Shrek is gonna die, guys. He's trapped in the store. No, guys, this is a very sad day. At least man survived. Also, this is a different Shrek than the last guy. This Shrek is shorter than the previous one. Oh, this guy said yippee and then just died. Bro, Shirk! Oh. You killed Shirk!
No!
Alright, the whole beach is just melting away. Meanwhile, she's just had this creepy smile on her face the whole time. I'm gonna watch this guy, because he's been making some faces. He looks like he's on the phone with somebody, or whatever this facial expression is. Like, these
Okay,
I do prefer
I'll get
the
your
man
pen.
face with the unusually large smile. You know, this person can only really just tilt their head around. He's about to fall asleep. Oh, he is fully asleep and smiling at the same time, which is kind of cursed. This person is saying something. I don't know what they're saying. Someone translate this into words. And then we got this thing staring at me through the window, winking. This guy's looking very menacing right now. The eyebrows, bro. Oh, don't look at me like that. I'm gonna back away. Oh no. I'm gonna back away very quickly. Everyone's just trying to break their neck right now. This might be the best feature Roblox has ever.
They're just saying hello,
There you go. Look,
but it translates to how much?
no pants on in front of the school. That's a little concerning.
The translation is not
He took
normal.
off his eyebrows, bro. I was not. Oh, he's dead. Rest in peace. Oh, this guy's breaking
Okay.
his neck. Seems like everyone who uses this feature just breaks their neck or sings to themselves. What is that? Why are you making that face? Hello, cow. Cow, watch out, man. The racetrack is catching on fire. It's not safe to be walking in front of vehicles like that either. Alright, well, here's our first spin botter of the video. He's about to take down this car here. Oh, jeez. Oh. Here he goes again. He's getting juked by a literal baby right now. This is truly incredible skills from NPC here. Oh, he's turned on the fly hacks. Still getting completely juked. Oh, alright, that only took him about 7 business days to get that kill. This is my hiding spot to hide from NPC. Alright, never mind. Wait, how did he die? This is the freest round of your life, and you died before the disaster even started. Honestly, that makes perfect sense, considering his previous performance. Oh, here's another spin botter, just flying around. There's no way this guy loses the round, right? He's just chilling up in the air, just flying around.
They're just using fly hacks in the
All
game.
he has to do is not burn to death. It's very simple. Oh. He is absorbing the map. What is happening? Oh, and he died. Oh, we have a spin botter in the server. Bernard, watch out! No! He's trying to kill this guy. Oh, jeez. Just threw him against the wall. He's flying everywhere. Oh, no. Oh, no. Help! He wasn't ready for that move. Oh, jeez, he's flinging the slide around. Oh. Yeah, that's what we call karma. Why is this guy slithering around? I haven't seen this type of exploiter before. Oh. He just killed himself. There he is. Still.
I'm refreshing.
Hey guys, welcome.
I don't see anything.
Welcome back to another. Well,
I'm Cypher. I don't see your comment typing in my notifications. You wanna check some defunct or obsolete games? Wait, what? How do I? Just look. This is Nintendo Champions 992. Just try to play on it. Boom! Restarts automatically. Check Nazi. My latest short was if you have a girl named you're at port 68. Okay, I'm gonna say this whole. Here, the story of I'm Cypher Power. There's a man called I'm Cypher. He wants to be his first demon, so he invented I'm Cypher Power. But power is very simple and activate. Just friend him on Geometry Dash. But it took him 3 months to make this story of making I'm Cypher Power. Began first. I'm Cypher went to a lab and said his idea of the lab was very smart, so nothing could go wrong. He's got a response and started building it piece by piece. It wasn't simple because he had to remodel his phone. He tried it and he got electrocuted. He was in the hospital laying in the bed. 1 month later, he got home and he successfully remodeled the phone. But the story doesn't end here. I'm Cypher had to make his own app. Took him 2 more months. So after he made it, he only had to connect it with his account and it worked. 3 months of fine work finally paid off. This is the end. Yeah, this is the end. Bye, yeah. Yeah, I literally checked your comment and it's ridiculously long. What the? Okay, I refreshed. Only 10 minutes to type. Calm down. I was playing with sound channels. Wow. What the? You can't do that? This is the Nanas Campus Challenge. I'll make a comic of your story. Super Nintendo. There's even background free. There's game no Kanzume Otokoi. Well, I'm gonna go. Game no Kanzume Otokyo. Alright. What the heck is this emoji? What the heck is that emoji? It looks cursed. Action. Sports. Oh great. I can't play these games because of Sega Channel being discontinued. Would you look at that? It crashes when you load even a single game. Here it is. Jules Yasarencia. Also, you can change outfits in this game. Like, what? Just look. Wait for a bit. You can change outfits in this game. Hello, Julia Sarencia. There's nothing I can do there. Well, I can't combine emojis with this randomizer, but yeah. Yeah, you're giving me some fun ones. And you're giving me some cursed emoji. Yeah, you're just joking. Alright. Ah! Looks cursed, isn't it? Looks weird, isn't it? Ella looks creepy, isn't it? Wait, there's bookshelves? Are there bookshelves in Minecraft? I'm gonna show you. Yes, there's bookshelves in Minecraft. I could make it cherry planks, but how can I make a book? Okay, bye. But how can I make paper? Yeah. Sugarcane. But where is sugarcane? There's no sugarcanes in this game. Wait, Super Mario Club doesn't work on emulator? Then you have to use a real console, right? That looks weird. Yeah. Yeah, you didn't time it. But look, it looks cursed, right? Oh. It's going to be yep, it's going to be day 51. I have been working with the old man for years now. I've been trying for a year. What you're saying? What is this? Dream Passport. Okay, I might have to change my name after change my avatar after I after I end this. Oh, okay. Keyboard. There's another one.
ようこそドリームパスポート2へ。ドリームキャストをネットワークにつなぐ準備を始めます。で、ご使用の電話の種類。 電話の種類を標識に設定します。
But you have users
Maybe the people think
playing,
YouTube is up
watching
there.
my
Maybe they don't
stream,
like
you
how
know.
racing me is. Maybe they're starting to form a rebellion. It seems that to make sure the Sunny News Nation becomes the most powerful empire on YouTube, I'll have to defeat my biggest enemy yet, a rebel army led by my evil twin Shady Milk. We now begin the civil war arc of the Tomodachi Life Nuzlocke, and of course, any hype anime arc needs a kick-ass intro. Before that though, let me tell you. Thank you so much for the support so far. Subscribe to join the Sunny Juice Nation. We're gonna need more numbers if we're gonna overcome the Shady Milk Empire. I'll see you soon for the next episode of the Tomodachi Life Nuzlocke Civil War arc. Enjoy the introductory song to the next story arc that will change the Tomodachi Life Nuzlocke forever. Enjoy. I have a problem. I'm doing a Tomodachi These are my subscribers, and if they disobey the rules of the island, they're erased forever. Sounds great, right? Well, there's just one big problem with this. Even if I go through all of the comments, searching for the most loyal members of the Sunny Juice Nation, I have over 11,000 subscribers now. How can I possibly choose?
Now 17,000 already?
Guy. So, as any great leader does, I came up with an ingenious solution: me applications. That's right, I sent out a Google form to my subscribers where they could fill out some questions to prove to me why they deserve to be turned into a me and live on the island. And it got over 1,000 responses. 1,297 to be exact. This was more than I ever expected to get, and as you can probably imagine, this means that I have a lot of work to do. So I thought it would be a fun idea to
17,000 subscribers for Sunny Juice.
camera, but some of these were really funny, so I will just share them today. Who knows, maybe you'll see your own application. Thank you for all the responses I received from my wonderful subscribers, and with that out of the way, enjoy the video. First of all, for those who haven't seen it, I want to show you the form that my subscribers had to fill out. Here at the top we have Sunny Juice Nation Me applications, and a brief description of what it's all about. Here you will submit your application as to why you think you deserve to be graciously invited to live as a me on the glorious Sunny Juice Nation Island as part of the Tomodachi Life Nuzlocke. Have fun and good luck. P.S. I will be much more likely to add you if you're funny and can make me laugh. First question. Do you pledge your loyalty to the Sunny Juice Nation? This is actually a trick question, as anyone who puts no has a 0% chance of being added. I'm sorry, I only want loyal people on the island. In the last episode, it was revealed that we are actually at war with the Shady Milk Empire, and that a lot of the me's already on the island turned out to be traitors. I don't want to deal with that risk going forward. Next question. Have you subscribed to Sunny Juice on YouTube? Yes or no? You know what? I was absolutely cooking while writing this form, because that is an amazing idea. Now I got that out of the way, we move on to part 1 of the form, which
Well, I almost have maybe, but I'm not even at 200.
Details of what your me would look like should I choose to add you. How would you describe yourself in 5 words or less? This is a classic interview question. And you'd be surprised how much information you can learn about a person in just 5 words. Obviously, if I were doing this one, I would input my best.
Yeah, you heard that. What do you want? What? It's too small.
translate Tomodachi Life raps again. Please enjoy these messy raps. Oh my god. We are back to look at some more Google Translate Tomodachi Life raps.
I want to battle
And
with
apparently
my
I
mind.
have never seen the raps, so this is gonna be really, really fucking fun, you know?
Stanley, Pyro, are you ready to see the raps?
I am definitely ready in the way that she's gonna say. I hope it's something crazy, but I am definitely ready.
Oh boy, okay, so foreshadowing. Pyro, read this. Let's get into it. So yeah, these are all Google translated, so they're gonna be some crazy lines. And okay, so it's Roy versus Dice. Okay, who's got the dice? Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know Roy was the causer of bad marriages. Okay, okay.
We need a divorce.
What?
Oh,
What?
oh, hey, drink another bad beer.
They're bad beers. I love bad beers. Go.
Drink another bad beer.
I don't know, it's gotta be bad if Roy doesn't like it.
My clothes don't
Why are you wearing that then?
Oh.
Why do you want that?
Hey, you know, casino worker? Gotta have a salary, right?
We're getting dark now.
Gambling. What does that mean? What?
Like what?
Silver the Hedgehog? Okay. Okay, there we go. Doris versus Roz the Monster Inc. I almost wanted to say Mike Wazowski again. It's gonna be a good one. Oh boy. Oh boy.
And there's Kojima.
God, everyone just has undersized clothes problems.
Yeah, their clothes got.
She knows too much. She knows.
Got shrunk in the wash.
What election? What?
What?
Okay, 24-hour shower. 24-hour shower.
24/7 shower.
Just with showers, you know?
That's true.
What the?
Oh,
Oh my god, not this fucking line again.
Oh.
Dude, what is happening? Okay.
What the?
over it. That's a goat.
You mean the goat stimulator?
Oh my god.
Teleportation.
She's everywhere. Nora says she is everywhere.
Eggs.
Egg.
Hey! Hey!
What are?
Oh my god.
What are we? Ah!
What is possible? Genuinely, it's so brain dead in one. It's genuinely unbelievable.
And then she said, like, what are we? Like,
Meow.
like asking, what is our relationship status? Like, right after. Oh my god. Oh my god, that fucking avatar.
Imagine rapping with that kind of clothing.
Also the seed of your sins.
I like flowers.
Fucking Sao Paulo.
I hate
Yeah.
that voice.
I like flowers. You know, it's a robot voice, you don't like it? What? Oh my god! Oh, okay, alright.
Nah.
Kill at night. Yeah.
Nah, there's something
I'm
wrong.
a no.
This is not.
Where's the referee? Where's the ref? No, where's the police? Sorry.
Arrested?
All right, where's the police?
Okay, alright, that's a step down.
Arrested.
This is just an open confession night. This isn't a rap battle at this point.
Yo.
I mean, if you have this, right?
Everyone hates my name.
Okay, Nick.
Everybody wanted.
I think I know why people hate you, because, you know, you went to jail and, like, everything, you know, like...
Still stupid. My research is complete.
That's a bar.
What
That's a bar.
research?
That's a bar.
I'm really stupid.
Why does that fit?
Why is that big? Oh my god.
It's his hypothesis.
This me just standing. More like standing. He's a vampire.
What the? What? Oh no!
Hanging from the
Oh
ceiling.
my god!
Or
The more the closer it is, the more likely.
wait, let's go to my life. Yee. To my life. Yee. To my life. Yee. To my life. Uh. I'll stop. What am I yapping? What am I yapping? A. Why did I say A? Why did I say A? What the heck are those noise? What the heck are those noise? What the heck are those noise? What are those sounds, dude? What are those sounds, dude? It's just going to keep it forever. It's just going to keep it forever. These noises are just not going to stop. These noises are just not going to stop. I need to leave now. What are those? Windows Vista Bill 5536. You're going to watch creepy stuff. I'm running out of wood pretty fast. I also make a comic. Yeah. Why does this happen? It's now not like a tree farm, but a maze.
Level. Bone meal was able
I'll stop these noise.
to grow any crop with just one item. This is what grass used to look like, and this is what it looks like now. Here are 81 features only in old Minecraft. Do you remember when cobblestone used to look like this? It was one of the first blocks added to the game, so it had a pretty basic texture, and honestly, a lot of people considered it to be pretty ugly. Over the years, this texture was tweaked to have a lot less contrast, and although it's probably better for building now, I still kind of miss the old cobblestone block. Minecraft sunsets are
It's day 52.
in older versions of the game, the sun set like this, with the whole world getting suddenly darker one level at a time, as opposed to the gradual fade we're familiar with today. It almost felt like someone was slowly turning off the lights in a room one at a time. And although that's pretty unrealistic, the light coming from the sky, it was pretty terrifying. If you remember Minecraft's old mob AI, you probably know just how terrible it was. Mobs would often just walk in a straight line towards you and wouldn't even try to walk around walls. But this made it pretty easy to outmaneuver most mobs by just walking around a building, causing them to get stuck and leave you alone. Bone meal is one of the most powerful items in Minecraft, allowing you to speed up the growth of any crop. But originally, it was even better than it is now. Instead of having a random chance to make a crop grow by one level, bone meal was able to instantly grow any crop with just one item. This gave players a very good reason.
Why are you doing that?
Just a few bones, you can quickly and easily get a ton of wood or food instead of having to wait for such a long time. Trust me, you haven't felt real power until you've tried using bone meal before the 1.5 update. Building a house out of random ore blocks like diamond and gold is a core experience for every Minecraft player, and these structures are a big part of early Minecraft's identity. Something about building a big, ugly, gratuitous cyan house still just makes me feel good inside. I feel powerful. I guess in early Minecraft, Mojang wanted to make sure you didn't lose certain items when you dropped them on the ground. Certain item forms or blocks would always render way too large when dropped as an item entity, which obviously made them easier to spot. But yeah, this was definitely a bug, so it got patched out pretty quickly. Do you remember when Minecraft was simple, that the ultimate end goal was really just finding diamonds and making some diamonds tools? Seriously, before the Ender Dragon or villagers or enchanting, all we could really do is slowly get better tools, dive deeper into the caves, and try to build cool houses. It was definitely a much simpler time, but that's what was so great about it. You could really just do whatever you like, such as continue mining a ridiculous number of diamonds. Only some players remember that the village's original name was the Testificate. It was a name used in a few beta versions that didn't seem to mean anything, but the term stuck around in the Minecraft community for a long time, often being used to refer to villagers a long time ago. Now it's just a relic of the past that few modern players probably even remember. Veteran players likely remember that it used to be impossible to place two chests next to each other. If you try to place a chest next to another chest, it will combine into a large chest. And then if you try to place a third next to that, the game just wouldn't let you. This meant that your chest rooms would always have these awkward gaps between the chests, which was really ugly and a huge waste of space. Eventually we got the trapped chest, which can be placed next to regular chests. But every trapped chest you make costs one tripwire hook, which can get pretty expensive pretty quickly, so you have to be really rich if you wanted to place your chests next to each other. It was only in 2018 during the 1.13 update that Mojang finally decided to let us place chests down side by side, 8 years after the block was first added to the game. I wonder what took them so long. The chest feels like it's been around since the beginning of Minecraft, having undergone very few changes. But did you know that originally, instead of having a slightly slimmer block model with an opening animation, it was literally just a solid block? It didn't animate. The double chest variant looked really weird, and it wasn't even rotatable. The latch just always faced west. I'm very glad we now have the new model and animation because the old chests just didn't feel right. Fences in Minecraft are 50% more expensive than they used to be. Originally, in order to get a wooden fence, all you need to do is put 6 sticks into the crafting table. Now we have to also add 4 wooden planks to specify what color fence we want. It makes sense that they had to change the recipe to account for having fences in any color, but come on, man, this was such a deal! Pigs seem pretty useless nowadays since they only drop pork chops, which aren't even the best food in the game. But originally, pigs were super useful because pork chops were the only food in the game. Not every mob dropped meat in the beginning. Cows just gave you leather, chickens gave you feathers, and sheep gave you wool. This made pigs super useful, but that glory didn't last long. As pretty quickly, Mojang decided that other mobs should give the player food too, and now pigs are pretty much only good for riding, and they're not even the best at that either. Useless pig! Mossy cobblestone is pretty easy to get a hold of nowadays, but there was a time where it wasn't actually craftable, and the only structure it ever spawned in was a monster dungeon. This made the block incredibly rare, so building your house out of mossy cobble was kind of a flex, but now you can farm it so easily it's practically worth nothing. I guess that's inflation for you. Getting your crops trampled is
I think it's day 52.
used to be so much worse. Currently, a crop will be trampled if a mob falls or jumps on the block, but originally you could trample crops by just walking on them. This meant that you literally couldn't collect the items from your farm without having to retill the land. Additionally, this also meant that any farms you made that didn't have fences around them were pretty much guaranteed to be ruined by mobs walking by at some point, making it extra important to fence in your crops. Currently, the sound creepers and TNT make when exploding sounds like this. But originally, this sound was very different. Take a listen. It used to sound a lot more bassy and compressed, like it was from a 90s game or something. Maybe this fits in with Minecraft's old retro aesthetic, but the art style has come a long way, so it's probably good they tweaked the sound. Although it wasn't even in the game for a very long time, the old Minecraft hurt sound is iconic. There's something so satisfying about hearing the sound whenever you take damage, and even though it might not be a perfect fit for the modern game, I wish they consider at least adding it back to the game via the programmer art resource pack, which contains all of the old Minecraft textures. Add it or I'm boycotting Minecraft! There are over 1,000 items in Minecraft, and that number just keeps going up with every update. So the fact that the creative inventory has tabs and a search bar makes it much easier to find the blocks and items you're looking for. But originally, the creative menu was much simpler. Instead of being organized, every item in the game was just in a single massive page, and you just had to memorize where every item was in the list. To be fair, these items were kind of sorted, but it was too late to navigate. I don't know how anyone built anything back then without going absolutely insane. Nowadays, people build all sorts of bases using the countless number of blocks Minecraft has added over the years. But back in the early days, you were pretty much limited to cobblestone and oak wood, so it was hard to build a home that felt very unique. Because of this, lots of players ended up building houses into the size of mountains, or transforming a cave into a stylish cave base. Not only is this the easiest way to quickly build yourself a home in the early game, but it also means you don't have to worry too much about making a nice looking exterior, and you can just focus on designing a nice interior. As for me, I was and still am just a dirt hamster. I like to keep it classy. Did you know there used to be a button for adding mods built into Minecraft's menu? Seriously, this button that says mods and texture packs was on the title screen for a while, making it seem like they were planning to expand the game's support for mods. Instead, they eventually just removed the mods part of the button, tucked it away in the options menu, and renamed texture packs to resource packs, and they can still only really use mods if we're using a mod loader like Fabric or Forge. Although, if you consider data packs to be mods, then I guess they did eventually make this idea into a reality, just not in the way anyone expected. Minecraft has so many flowers, with new ones still being added in recent updates. But for the longest time, the only flowers in the game were just these two, the dandelion and the rose. For over 4 years, if you wanted to bring life and color to your build, these were your only options, making any flower fields just look like they were covered in splatters of ketchup and mustard. Thank goodness they eventually added flowers like tulips, lilacs, and eye blossoms, because the game desperately needed them. There used to be a way to see through walls and find caves, and it wasn't a bug. Originally, when hitting the F3 key on your keyboard, every mob would show its mob ID above its head as a name tag, and just like player name tags, these could be seen through walls. This meant that by just hitting F3, you could look for name tags beneath your feet to find mob spawning underground in caves. And If you saw a large clump of name tags, then congratulations, because you probably found a mob spawner. This has got to be one of the most overpowered features that Mojang has ever intentionally put in the game. The Caves and Cliffs update made Minecraft's cave systems much more diverse and beautiful. But once upon a time, there were no cave biomes.
Yeah,
There were no
it's
variations.
just day
All you
52.
had were these long, noodly caves, and the same stone texture continuing on and on forever. It may seem a little boring looking back, but these old caves were just so immersive and scary to me. Maybe that's just nostalgia speaking. But you know what? I don't care. You might think that minecarts were the fastest form of transportation in early Minecraft, before we had horses or elytra. But there was actually a faster way. Boats. No, I'm not talking about sailing in the ocean. I'm talking about building boat bridges. By placing a series of boats all in a line, you can spam right-click to instantly travel from one boat to the next, allowing you to transport yourself across pretty long distances in a matter of seconds. As an added bonus, building a couple of boats is much cheaper than crafting minecarts and rails. Ironically, boats are still better than minecarts today, since they move so fast on top of ice. Seriously, why do we even have minecarts at this point? Flint and steel and TNT were added around the same time, but believe it or not, TNT wasn't actually ignited using flint and steel at all. Instead, you just punched TNT to ignite it, and flint and steel was explicitly used for creating fires. It was kind of weird how obvious it was that these two items should probably be related to each other, but Notch eventually figured it out and made TNT behave how it does now. If you're wondering how you were supposed to pick up this old version of TNT, since trying to mine it just ignites it, well, apparently you're just supposed to punch it again. I'm not sure that's great advice for actual bomb defusing, but hey, what do I know? When you cast out your fishing rod in Minecraft versions before beta 1.6, instead of using the current cast fishing rod texture, you just used the stick texture. This made it look like the fishing rod's reel just disappeared while you were using the fishing rod, and reappeared when you pulled the hook back in, which really didn't make any sense at all. I mean, seriously, this is just a stick! Bows in Minecraft are pretty good, but they're nothing like they were in Minecraft Ender. Back then, not only did they have infinite durability, but they also had no charge time, allowing you to spam arrows as fast as you like. These arrows traveled at their maximum speed, so they were really overpowered. So it makes sense that Notch decided to make the bow require a bit of a charge time. Still, it might be nice to get functionality like this back into the current game in some balanced way, like a thick fire enchantment. Nowadays, water is famous for being able to stop the player from taking all full damage, no matter how high up they've fallen from. Now, water has always stopped full damage if it was deep enough, but there was a time when water that was only 1 block deep didn't actually provide any full damage prevention at all. So if you're a modern Minecrafter who wants to try playing a bit of beta, maybe don't try doing any bucket clutches, because it probably won't work out how you expect. Most YouTubers play Minecraft on its brightest setting to make the game easier to watch, but originally, Minecraft was so unbelievably dark and had no way to adjust its brightness. This made exploring any cave feel like walking around in a pitch black room where your torches only let you see a few steps ahead. Honestly, it was a completely different experience, one that was much scarier and more immersive, and it made me wish Mojang found some sort of way to bring that feeling back to the game. And no, the deep dark doesn't count, it's just too boring. Do you remember how terrible boats used to be? Not only were they painfully slow to the point of being nearly useless, but they were also so unbelievably fragile, and lightly bumping into any block would cause your boat to shatter into sticks, wasting all of the wood it took to craft it. Maybe the reason these boats were so slow was just because they didn't have paddles. I mean, what was Steve doing before? Paddling the boat with his hands? Sounds like this is your own fault, buddy. Nowadays, the Nether has lots of things to do. There are 5 unique biomes, 11 mobs, and 2 dungeons for players to explore. But back when the Nether was first added, it looked something like this. Pretty similar to the current Nether, right? Well, this is literally all there was. One endless biome filled with lava and netherrack, a deep gas and zombie pigmen. And that was it. There wasn't any structures, no rare biomes, and no interesting mobs to hunt. Even the mobs you could kill didn't drop anything of use. The gas didn't drop any gas tiers for brewing regeneration potions, because this was before the game even had potion brewing. And zombie pigmen did drop cooked pork chops back then. But since fighting them is so dangerous, it's a much better idea to just farm pigs back in the overworld. Ultimately, the only useful things you could find in the Nether were infinite lava and glowstone blocks, just barely saving this entire dimension from being completely useless. Minecraft still has cave sounds, but you don't seem to hear them as much as you used to back in the day. Back in the day, it feels like you couldn't go mining without hearing at least one of these terrifying noises. And if you've ever played the game before 2020, you've probably heard one of the rare low-pitch versions of cave sounds that got removed in the 1.16 update. As much as I miss these old sounds, I'm glad I can go in caves nowadays without having to change my trousers every 30 minutes. Minecraft's tutorial is pretty lacking, but a apparently that's mostly by design. Direct guidance on how exactly to play Minecraft was intentionally left out of the game early on to allow players to explore the games themselves and decide what it is they wanted to do. This was fine for the most part, but the one thing that really felt ridiculously unfair was the fact that there were so many crafting recipes in the game, and there was no official place to see them all. Sure, you had the community wiki, the Minecraft forums, and countless YouTube videos talking about recipes for new items, but the fact that the recipe book wasn't added until 1.12 really makes me wonder how on earth most players even survived in the past. Like, don't ask me how to craft a daylight detector. Nobody knows that off the top of their head! Originally, there was no way to skip the night in Minecraft. Before the addition of beds in beta 1.3, you just had to survive the night, fighting up mobs and lighting up the darkness. It was pretty brutal, and it really makes me realize just how easy the game is when you can always see through the night. I mean, maybe
Fine.
Phantoms, I might actually want to play it anymore, but who knows? Minecraft has dozens and dozens of diverse biomes nowadays. It's easy to forget that it all started with this simple forest biome. Bright green grass, bright green trees, and some small hills. Nothing crazy, but it still felt like home. When peaceful mode was first added, it wasn't exactly all that peaceful. Although hostile mobs weren't able to spawn in peaceful mode, it was still possible for neutral mobs like wolves to spawn. And when angered, these neutral mobs would still attack and kill the player. This was a pretty fun oversight for the game mode that's supposed to make Minecraft a less violent game, since there are a few things quite as dangerous as being eaten alive by an entire pack of wolves. Of course, this was eventually changed, and all neutral mobs had their hostile behavior completely removed when the game was peaceful. When you go to fight a boss in Minecraft like the Ender Dragon, the name of the mob shows up above its health bar. But this wasn't always the case. Back when the Ender Dragon was the only boss in the game, it originally just had the text boss health at the top of the screen. It was only after the Wither was added in the pretty scary update that the developers realized it might be good to make the health bar's title a little more specific and change the Ender Dragon to say Ender Dragon and the Wither to say Wither. As an added bonus, you can
No
actually
problem.
manage to get name tag onto a Wither. You can make the boss bar at the top of the screen say whatever you like. So maybe if you rename it Boss Health, you can feel like you're still playing Minecraft in the olden days. If you played Minecraft in beta, then you probably know that many of Minecraft's main survival mechanics weren't actually added until the game's full release, including the hunger system. In the past, the player didn't have a hunger bar at all, and eating food would just directly heal back some of your hearts. You may think that this made food much more powerful in the past, but there's one missing feature that honestly makes food way better in the modern game, and that's sprinting. Since having a full hunger bar lets you sprint, it's much easier to evade and escape from attacking mobs. Back in the day, players walked incredibly slowly. So if you were facing off against something like a skeleton, the
Okay.
only options were to win the fight or die. And since food didn't stack, you effectively had to fill your entire
One sec.
bar with food if you wanted to be able to heal yourself quickly. Yeah, I'm not gonna
Now you're the managing moderator.
much better than it used to be. Do you remember the pain of enchanting in older versions of Minecraft where all of your levels would be taken from you when you enchant one item? Currently, only a few levels
Oh,
remain
thanks.
in your lapis, but originally, if you did a level 30 enchantment, all 30 of your levels were just gone. Not to mention, the original enchantment limit wasn't 30, it was actually 50! So, trying to upgrade all of your gear to the maximum level was an insane grind. And repairing your items was a pain, especially considering mending didn't exist yet. So, all of your tools would eventually break anyway. Honestly, maybe the game was better off like that. For most players, the item that creepers drop on death is called gunpowder, but to some Minecraft veterans, this item is still called sulfur. You see, when it was first added to the game, that's what the item was called, and it could be dropped by any mob. It took over a year of sulfur being in the game for it to eventually be renamed to gunpowder, which definitely helps players understand what it's for, but they don't know what sulfur actually is.
Wait, you need gunpowder or sulfur to even create TNT.
Well, the forest fire would spread so quickly that you had no
Ugh.
shot of putting them out. Best thing you can do is just start gathering materials to build a house in some recently flattened land. Which came first, the village or the villagers? No, this isn't some lame riddle. There's actually an answer to this one. It's villages! That's right, before Mojang even added villagers to the game, they added these creepy, empty villages, which made the world feel so dead and eerie when they were first added. Then, of course, villagers were later added to the game. They all realized there wasn't anything to be afraid of in these villages at all, except how villagers look, I guess. Creepers actually used to be a lot scarier when they were first added. Nowadays, a creeper gives you a lot of heads up to let you know he's about to blow you up. It makes a little
I know.
sound, stands perfectly still, and starts flashing white. But originally, creepers would just run up to you, start walking to the side of it, and then blow up super quickly. This almost never felt fair, and it made fighting a creeper a much more terrifying experience, almost guaranteed to result in your builds being destroyed. I'm glad we don't have these creepers in the game anymore. I always have a hard time enough with the new ones. Creative mode feels like one of Minecraft's main game modes, but back in Minecraft Beta, it didn't even officially exist. The only way to play something like creative mode was to use mods that gave you infinite items. But I never did that. I always got my items legit. Doesn't it feel like there are barely any passive mobs that spawn in Minecraft nowadays? That's probably because nowadays Minecraft has a passive mob cap, which limits the number of passive mobs that can spawn in every chunk. This wasn't the case in older versions of the game, and passive mobs would continue spawning anywhere in the world, so players would always be able to find food and wool without having to walk for very long. So I have to feel bad for murdering every animal I saw on sight. They were better times. Cookies are kind of a niche food nowadays, but they were considered a rare item when they were originally added. Since cookies are crafted with cocoa beans, and cocoa beans used to be rare loot only found in dungeon chests, they were pretty hard to get a hold of. But then once you did actually find them, there wasn't a way to farm them yet. So if you wanted even more cookies, you'd have to go out and find another dungeon. That's a lot of work.
Because every 4 in-game days I switch versions. So right now I'm in alpha.
Pretty much everyone just calls them achievements, since that's what they were originally called. And that's the word most games use. For some reason, when they overhauled the achievement system, they also decided to rename them to advancements instead. You could argue that the rename makes more sense, since most of the advancements in Minecraft are things you do to advance in the game. But I think I'll stick with calling them what they actually are. Finding monster spawners to create mob farms used to actually be surprisingly easy. This is because they spawn so close to the surface, so you can probably hear the mobs inside and easily locate one by ear. But even easier than that, if you just head on over to a desert, chances are pretty good that you'll find a monster spawner that has caved in, since sand is a falling block. I really miss discovering these in my world. It always felt so cool finding these in the old game. When slabs were first added to Minecraft, there was only one type of slab, the smooth stone slab, and the way you crafted it felt really bizarre. No, it didn't take 3 stone blocks, it took 3 cobblestone blocks. Looking at this recipe nowadays feels pretty cursed, but if you think about how few items existed in Minecraft to create crafting recipes with, it kind of makes sense. Then of course the recipe was changed to use a regular stone block in the 1.3 update, and then it was changed for the final time in 1.14, now being crafted with an actual smooth stone block. If you've been playing Minecraft long enough, you probably remember when zombie villagers looked like this.
Hey.
Instead of directly resembling their villager counterparts, zombie villagers used to just wear the same clothes as regular zombies, with the main difference being their head shape. It really made the mob feel like a pretty lazy tweak of the regular zombie, and it stayed this way for nearly 3 years. When they finally changed zombie villagers to actually keep their villager clothes when they were infected, it felt like a huge upgrade to the mob.
It's day 53.
Thank goodness we no longer have to bear witness to the holy sight of a villager wearing short sleeves and boots. Nowadays, Mojang tries to make Minecraft a very ethical game and discourages players from harming innocent animals. But originally, the only way you could get wool off of a sheep.
Here it is. Alpha 1.2.1.
Wasn't them out of their misery. The best way to farm wool was to just punch a sheep, wait for it to grow the wool.
There's millions of animals.
Recycle until you slowly beat it to death. Obviously, that was way too cruel to keep in the game, so thank goodness the developers gave us shears. Sorry, sheepy. My bad. Although wood planks feel like a default material in Minecraft, for a long time, most types of wood planks didn't even exist. Originally, every type of tree in Minecraft would just craft down into a block that just looked like oak planks. Whether it was a spruce log, a birch log, or a jungle log, they all turned into this generic planks block. And it wasn't until the 1.2.4 update that they each got their own unique texture. From here, the potential of Minecraft building began to really unfold, as we got things like slabs, fences, and stairs in all sorts of new colors. Could you imagine how Minecraft buildings would look today if Mojang decided to stick with just one plank type for all logs? It'd be a beige nightmare. Remember Minecraft's old super glowy lava texture? It felt a lot more hot and goopy, like a lava lamp, as compared to the current lava texture, which just looks like a lake filled with melted cheese or baked beans or something. The old lava had such a vibe. I want to touch it or drink it or something. When creative mode was first added, it wasn't perfect, and one of the key missing features was having mobs be neutral towards you. Sure, you were invincible and couldn't take any damage, but as far as the mobs were concerned, you were still something they could attack, so they would just hopelessly chase you like needy fans. This isn't a huge deal for mobs like skeletons, zombies, and spiders, but obviously for creepers, this was an absolute nightmare. Since you'd just be minding your own business, building a house in creative mode, then a creeper would pop by to ruin everything. Everyone knows about Minecraft's iconic pink sheep, which has an incredibly low chance of naturally spawning. But did you know that when sheep were first added, some of their colors were a bit off? The original pink sheep had this super light and desaturated color, making it look like cotton candy. It is pretty cute, but bizarrely, its color didn't really match the pink wall block at all. The same was also true to the light blue sheep. What was even worse was the orange sheep. Yeah, it's literally yellow! Man, Notch needs to get his eyes fixed. Nowadays, Minecraft's menu screen has this slick, high-quality logo and a panoramic background that changes with every update. But you might remember that the original menu screen looks like this, just dark dirt blocks in the background, and a Minecraft logo that's just made out of stone blocks. The letters in the word Minecraft would animate in every time you came back to the main menu, which is super satisfying to watch, and I honestly wish the current menu did something like this. All it does is just sit there. Do something, boring letters! Oh my gosh, remember when you could use a tool to speed up breaking a crafting table or furnace? It was so painful! Even with a nice diamond axe, breaking down your crafting table looked like it takes ages, and the furnace was even worse. If they never made these blocks faster to break, I probably would have stopped playing ages ago. Or I would have just wasted all my wood constantly crafting new crafting tables. Hey, I guess I really do that. Do you remember how annoying it used to be to break wooden doors? It used to be possible to open wooden doors by either right-clicking them or left-clicking them, meaning that if you tried punching a door to break it, it would open up, stopping you from destroying it unless you're specifically aiming at the door's hinge. This wasn't the biggest deal, but it did give a lot of older players the muscle memory to always break doors at their hinge, which I'm sure some people still instinctively do to this day, myself included. A pivotal Minecraft mechanic from before the 1.9 combat update is sword blocking. Yeah, we used to be able to guard ourselves with our swords in order to take less damage. Nowadays, we can only block ourselves from damage with an entirely separate item that has to take up an extra inventory slot. The feature is so good that people still prefer to do PvP in these older versions just to have sword blocking back. I doubt we'll ever see sword blocking return, but it's nice to know that there are some people out there still using it. Do you remember when you could save on materials by cutting your ladders in half? Seriously, just by placing one block gaps all the way up to the top of your ladder, you can create a ladder that functions completely normally for half the resources. Unfortunately, this trick no longer works, but hey, maybe it's for the best. A ladder with a bunch of gaps in it does look pretty darn ugly. Do you remember when the creative inventory looked like this? Instead of being organized into tabs, it was just one super long list of every item in the game, and the item versions of blocks had this weird lack of shading and made them way brighter than they actually look in the world. It may be a small thing, but I much prefer the way blocks look in the inventory nowadays. It's a lot more accurate and doesn't burn my eyeballs. Nowadays, most mobs have attack animations, like zombies swinging their arms up when they hit you, and skeletons pulling back the strings of their bows. But back in the day, mobs didn't have any animations at all. They just walked up to you and dealt damage when they touched you. Worst of all, the skeleton didn't even hold its bow like an actual bow. Instead, it just showed up in its hand like a regular item, and an arrow would just spawn in front of it when it went to shoot at the player. It's pretty fun to watch, but made the mob feel pretty incomplete. So I'm glad they eventually had the sense to change the skeleton's animations. Can you believe you only used to be able to create 5 Minecraft worlds in total for a game where you can build anything? The idea of limiting how much a player can build is pretty odd. I mean, if you think about it, every world is technically infinite, so you could just keep walking until you find new chunks. But I think if this limitation existed today, we'd all still be pretty irritated. Zombies are one of Minecraft's first mobs, and as such, the item they originally dropped was literally just a placeholder, feathers. Why exactly would a zombie have feathers in it? I don't know. Maybe it's stuffed like a pillow. Maybe it's ate chicken feathers and all. Could be anything. The better question is this: why do zombies?
I'm not just walking around because I have nothing to do.
Like hitting F on your keyboard. Seriously, instead of modifying your render distance in the video settings menu, you used to just tap a key on your keyboard to cycle through a few different preset render distances, allowing you to quickly swap between low render distances for performance and high render distances for screenshots. Eventually, this key was removed, and probably for good reason, since I imagine hitting the F key is pretty easy to do by accident. Now F is bound to item swapping, which is why I always accidentally end up with a pickaxe in the wrong hand. You might think you could just use fence gates to go in and out of your farm, but back in this version of Minecraft, fence gates didn't exist. So instead, players had to either break and place back their fences, place blocks near the fence to parkour in and out, or the ugliest option, use a regular door as the entrance to your farm. None of these these options were very good, but most people would end up choosing the door option because while it looks absolutely terrible, it did happen to be the most convenient. But today, I think I'd rather stick with fence gates now that we have them. Do you remember the crazy bug that made it possible to have an unbreakable diamond pickaxe? All you had to do was start breaking the block and then immediately swap to a different tool the moment the block broke. This means that if you can pull off the timing consistently enough, you're able to mine as much as you want with a
Wait,
pickaxe. But
can I do that?
the tool damage onto wooden pickaxes. Though, to be honest, actually trying to do this in a survival world is probably just too annoying to make it worth it. Structures that have good loot are something modern Minecrafters might take for granted.
Wait, I have no idea this glitch exists. You can break it and your item will not break at all, so
Diamonds, obsidian, or food.
let's try wooden pickaxe with a stone pickaxe.
It's still an exciting structure to find for sure, but with so many other places.
Wait, I don't have stone.
Finding a blacksmith really just doesn't hit the same as it used to. One of Minecraft Alpha's
Wait, I have one.
features was the fact that beams were permanent. This meant that when you chop down.
Okay, let's do this glitch.
Yeah, so if you wanted to clear out parts.
And here it is. Here's what it is.
Every leaf one by one until they were all gone. This was so boring and not
J-
fun at all.
Yeah,
The leaf became a
you could just straight up do this.
Minecraft becoming a legal punching simulator. When fences were first added to Minecraft, they were actually full blocks. Well, obviously they don't look like it, but if you hover your cursor over a fence block, you'll see that it's
You can literally, you'll make it an unbreakable wood. I don't think Dupes exist.
Which was super annoying. To make matters even worse, these old fences didn't even connect to solid blocks. They could only connect to each other. So if you wanted to have a fence connected to a building, well, enjoy the ugly gap. Zombie pigmen used to drop cooked pork chop when they were
Ghost blocks don't exist in this version.
Since they were pigs that lived in the lava-filled nether, so I guess they're already walking around pre-cooked. That's kind of close to think about.
Okay, the ghost blocks don't exist yet.
Really changed to be gold nuggets and rotten flesh instead. I refuse to believe a creature that looks like that is dropping anything that's freshly cooked. Although many of Minecraft's features have their roots in realism, when some of these features were first added, they weren't actually accurate to the real world at all. For example, Minecraft's sun used to rise in the north and set in the south, whereas the sun in the real world rises in the east and sets in the west. I guess when Notch was adding the day-night cycle, he didn't think much about which direction it was going in, and it was only fixed later on when the community pointed out that the sun's rising direction wasn't very realistic. Sometimes a community caring about realism is a pretty good thing, like when Mojang changed the item used to tame parrots and cookies.
Okay, I'll try to find iron.
Fireflies have gotten completely removed, so maybe we should be careful about making Minecraft realistic in the future. When creative mode was first added to Minecraft, the developers decided to help get you started in every new creative world you create by putting a bunch of random blocks in your inventory. Maybe some people found this useful to quickly get to building something cool, but I think in general, most people probably prefer to chuck everything else and start with an empty hopper, because they can fill with whatever blocks they wanted to build with themselves. I don't know, I never really understood the plot of this feature. I'm not glad to see it get removed. Let me know if you ever actually just use these default blocks to build with. Maybe soon. Minecraft's original death screen was pretty similar to how it looks today, but there was one very significant difference. Instead of the screen reading, you die, it just said game over. This was maybe a bit misleading because the phrase game over might make the player think they've lost all their progress and have to start over, which obviously isn't true unless you're playing in hardcore mode. For that reason, I think You Died fits a lot better for a survival game like Minecraft, where you effectively have infinite lives. Since food in Minecraft used to just be used to instantly heal back if you passed, it actually lacked any sort of proper eating animation. So instead of gradually taking bites out of a cooked pork chop, you just instantly swallow the entire thing whole. Sure, it might be a more efficient way to finish your food, but might end up with a stomachache later for luxury. I know it's been talked about a lot, but I still can't get over the fact that you used to be able to milk squids in Minecraft. It was just so weird. Like, I thought squids were supposed to shoot ink. Why are they making milk? I don't know, honestly, just talking about it makes me feel gross. Moving on! If you were picking the default keybinds for Minecraft, what key would you pick for opening your inventory? Well, the letter I might be an obvious pick, but if you think about where it is on the keyboard, it's a little too far away from any of the other keys the player uses regularly. Regardless, this was actually the original inventory keybind, and apparently some people still rebind the inventory keys I to this day, since they're so used to it. Personally, I think that's absolutely...
Okay, I'm changing to new versions. E.
Every Minecraft YouTuber you've ever watched would probably talk to you by using F5 mode and looking directly into the camera. Well,
Yeah,
except the people
Yeah, I'm going to change. Okay, yeah, I hate these controls. I like how it's the classic way. Press the I button, and then bada bing, bada boom.
Did you know you can get Minecraft for free? Don't worry, I swear this is legal. If you just go to classicminecraft.net, you're able to play the original web demo of Minecraft. Back when there were no mobs, there wasn't any health, and the world wasn't infinite. All you could do was walk around and place and break blocks. It was a much simpler time. And although it practically has no features, there's a certain piece that comes from playing this version of
Okay.
Sanding already feels like it takes a lot of luck. But
Well, when I reach day 57, or maybe if I do another stream, I will reach to. If I reach Alpha 1.22a, I'll make another portal by just straight up pressing one button, F4.
This mace does custom enchantments, and this potion can kill players in creative mode. Here are 107 Minecraft facts that will completely blow your mind. You may know camels can keep you safe from hostile mobs like zombies and vindicators, but did you know striders can protect you as well? They're just
Why? Wait, this leaves.
we all know
It's not a tree farm anymore. It's now like a
like
maze.
sand on top, the continuous movement can eventually cause the block to break. How is this pig falling so slowly? You can slow a pig's descent by quickly toggling a carrot stick on and off your selected hotbar slot. Each toggle resets the pig's momentum. However, make sure to hop off the pig right before touching the ground, or else you'll take a lot of full damage. The pig will end up dying either way if there's no water below. Most people know that charge creepers can be used to get a skeleton skull. However, what's lesser known is that this actually works on wither skeletons as well. A charged creeper will drop a wither skeleton skull 100% of the time. Harming potions are overpowered in PvP because they bypass all armor. But what's even more overpowered are tipped arrows of harming. Each of these arrows will deal instant damage, and the bow doesn't even have to be fully charged, so you can rapid fire harming them and still do loads of damage. You can even kill someone in full netherite gear in only 2 harming bow shots. This is not fair! How does this water exist? There aren't any barrier blocks or hidden tricks. The water is just floating there. To create this cursed water, place down slime blocks like so, and pour water down the top. Then plant seagrass at the bottom, and use bone meal to make it grow 2 blocks tall. Once done, break the outer slime blocks, and surprisingly, the water won't flow out. You can even run
F4 just does nothing.
create a cobblestone generator. If pistons push a block, that block ceases to be a block for a moment and becomes a block entity. So if you push something like glowstone, it will momentarily stop emitting any light. There are only 2 mobs that won't crush turtle legs. Naturally, the first is turtles themselves. The second, interestingly, is bats. This is surprising since even chickens, which might seem harmless as they flap downwards, will crush the eggs. Similarly, bees, despite only flapping their wings above the eggs, will also damage them. If you only have one elytra, how do you share it between 2 players? Have the player with the elytra lead a pig. The second player can then saddle the animal and mount it. This way you guys will both be flying with a single elytra. The pig can also be exchanged out for a llama or even a strider if you prefer different animals. Cobwebs slow down player movements, but what will happen if you throw a projectile at it? Will the cobweb catch it? Nope. The snowball just travels right through like it's not even there. You can even throw an egg at an entire line of them and it'll fly right through. However, in one snapshot, things were very different. Cobwebs would actually catch projectiles like eggs, ender pearls, and snowballs and turn them into their item forms. But in the very next snapshot, this feature wasn't removed. Check out these fireworks flying sideways. How is this possible? If you launch fireworks from inside a water stream, their trajectory will be altered. This technique allows you to create a spread out firework display. When a llama spits at you, there isn't much you can do in the Java edition. However, on Bedrock, you can actually rebound the llama's spit back. It doesn't make the most sense, but I love the feature. I can't find any beehives. If you're struggling to locate the buzzy bees, here's how to spawn one in. Planting birch trees next to flowers actually increases the likelihood of a beehive spawning on it. Yes! Now I can enslave the bees to create a honey farm. This is a coral farm, and it generates 72,000 coral per hour. The mechanism operates only in a warm ocean biome. This is because in these biomes, applying bone meal to an underwater block has a chance to spawn coral. While it's hard to imagine needing this much, it's great to have the option. Stop going through my portal! To prevent mobs from going through, Place a cow inside a boat right in front of the portal. This setup blocks other entities from entering while still allowing you to squeeze through. Everyone knows you can bone meal crops to grow them quicker, but did you know bone meal can be used on flowers as well? Doing so will make a flower item drop each time you bone meal it.
Okay, when it's going to be 4:25 p.m., I will stop live streaming because I need to get on the Zoom stream. I mean Zoom meeting.
You'll get purple. In total, there are over 12 million possible beacon color combinations you can make. Tiled entities like chests,
No way!
droppers, and
There's so many color combinations.
the piston won't extend when activated. However, in the Bedrock edition, the tile entities can actually be moved. Instead of using plain ladders, use waterlogged ladders instead. They're faster than using ladders or water alone because they combine the benefits of both.
Yeah,
climbing.
I'll say how much.
Quickly, if a shulker hits you into the air, here's the safest way to get you down. Now, you could try water bucket clutching, but if you have a slow reaction time, you'll likely die. Instead, just eat a chorus fruit and you'll be brought back to the ground. Never mind Nether Gold. Doing so only gives you a few nuggets. Instead, use a pickaxe with a silk touch and
I have
find the ore. And
88 viewers.
gold ingot
88.
your returns. If you hit one zombie pigment, all nearby ones will become aggressive and charge at you. But what's interesting is that if an angry pigment dies, they'll drop experience points, even if you didn't touch that one specifically. This mechanic is crucial because it allows us to create fully AFK gold experience farms. While it makes sense that netherite armor doesn't fully protect you against lava or fall damage, what doesn't make sense is that the same armor can't shield you from something as simple as a berry bush or a prickly cactus. The armor is literally made of diamonds and netherite. Hitting silverfish will cause more to come out, so the best way to kill them is just by burning them with fire or lava. Sea pickles produce more light the more you have stacked together. 4 sea pickles in the same block will actually produce more light than a torch. Did you know you can use honey to write secret messages? Just wax certain copper blocks so the blocks around it oxidate and the message is left. The downside is that it takes quite a while for the message to reveal itself. Conduits are incredibly powerful. They allow you to mine quicker, see clearer, and breathe underwater. However, they also have a hidden ability. Conduits actually attack nearby hostile mobs. I had no idea that was possible. When you kill a fish, it'll drop a fish item. However, they actually can drop another strange item. Salmon, cod, tropical fish, and pufferfish will have a 5% chance to drop bone meal. So if you're dedicated enough, you can create a bone meal farm out of just fish. But it'd be very inefficient. When a mob drowns, notice anything strange? Instead of bubbles appearing near the head, they appear below at the feet. Does this mean mobs breathe through their toes? Boats on Soul Sand can jump up to 1.5 blocks high when a player is riding them. However, if you place blocks like trapdoors or fence gates above the water, the boat can achieve a jump of 2 blocks high with a player on board. This mechanic allows us to create higher boat jumps that climb upwards. This is a working chair. You're actually able to sit down on it. It seems impossible, but it's made by putting a saddled pig under a trapdoor. To hide the saddle, apply a dinner bone name tag to it to flip it over. Gold farms
Okay, it's day 54. I'm going to move this. I'm going to change where the door is because it'll break every time I will break leaves.
You can even craft them straight into full ingots. In Minecraft, only 3 blocks naturally generate across all dimensions. The first is bedrock, which appears at the bottom of the overworld, the top of the nether, and on the end pillars. The second is obsidian, found in ruined portals both in the overworld and the nether, as well as on the end pillars. The last block is the chest, which is present in various dungeons and structures in all dimensions. Owie! Sweet berry bushes hurt you when you walk into it, but they can actually save your life. The berry bushes negate all fall damage when you land in them, so the bushes can be used to clutch. Did you know diamonds and turtle eggs have something in common? If you check out the outline of both the items, you'll see they have the same exact shape. If you want a super detailed rug, you can use custom map art to create these unique designs. Or if you want a custom wallpaper, try hanging maps on your walls. My house is so special. Rideable mobs like horses and llamas can naturally regenerate hearts, which is very slow at a rate of 2 hearts per minute. However, one mob that regenerates extremely quickly is the Allay. They regenerate 2 entire hearts per second, and it's so fast that it can't die from drowning, powdered snow, or even suffocation. You're too powerful. Do you see the button? It's right here. The stone button blends in super well well with stone blocks. So if you're trying to hide a secret door, a great way to do so is just hiding it in plain sight. How is this lamp turned on? It looks like it has no power source. But if you look on top of it, you'll find an item frame powering a pressure plate. You're able to place a pressure plate on top of an item frame. And when you step on it, the item frame holds the pressure plate down. The bottom of a barrel looks similar to a spruce plank, making it an excellent option for secret storage. You can cleverly hide barrels among your spruce floor, and then placing a bed on top, or even just putting a few barrels underneath your chest. While intruders might raid your visible storage, they'll likely overlook the true valuables hidden right beneath them. Automatic chicken farms are incredibly easy to make, and will provide you unlimited food. But there's a way to make them even more efficient. By trapping a fox near the farm and giving it a looting fire aspect sword, it'll make the chickens drop extra food and cook it at the same time. There are many types of stones, like diorite, andesite, and basalt. However, oddly enough, we can't use these stones to craft tools. What's even more puzzling is that we can't make a stone pickaxe using pure stone blocks. When you're mining, avoid throwing your items on the floor. If a zombie picks up even a single item, it won't despawn. Eventually, after doing this for a while, you might end up with a cave filled with zombies. The witch's hut might appear simple, but it's hiding a dark secret. In every witch's hut, a black cat will naturally spawn. But that's not the strange part. If you spawn cats here in creative mode, it will result in only black cats spawning. How is this possible? When Crying Obsidian was first added, it looked like this. However, the block ended up getting removed, and it wasn't until 7 years later that it got re-added with the texture we all know. Help! Mobs keep spawning in my base! If you're having trouble finding dark areas that need more torches, try setting your brightness to moody. This will make it easier to spot the areas that need more light to prevent mob spawning. If you place lava down, it will light up the surrounding area. However, trying the same thing with magma blocks won't work so well. Even though they have magma in the name, it somehow doesn't produce any light. Zombies can occasionally break down wooden doors. And if you don't want to use an ugly iron door, there's an easy solution. Just invert the placement of your wooden doors. Zombies are programmed to break only the external side of a door, so they won't be able to break through an inverted door. To ensure your door is inverted correctly, open the F3 debug screen and check that it says open true, or the door is visually closed. Now you can rest easy knowing zombies won't be barging in. The ender chest gives each player a private storage system, but it wasn't always
I have no idea how this glitch works.
inventory would be shared by the
If it say open true, even though it's closed, well,
13 rings of deadly
boom,
protecting
zombies can go
in the
in.
middle. But it's not actually that good. With an elytra, you can just fly over the entire thing. Or if you consider that cheating, pro player Canadian was able to just run through the entire thing without breaking a sweat. Okay, this base stinks. You can't enter your swimming animation in water that's only 1 block deep, which makes normal swimming very slow. However, there's a faster way to get across. Hold an empty bucket, look down at the water, and continuously hold the right click button. This method lets you almost run across the pond. Minecraft paintings are a great decoration, but they're static. For a more dynamic decoration, considering creating a pixel art map. Then by rotating the map inside of an item frame, you can simulate a stop motion animation. The car looks like it's moving around the city here. If you open a barrel, you'll see a black texture inside. But it wasn't always like that. When the barrel was first added to the Bedrock edition, there was an unused texture called fish barrel. So we almost had different barrel types in the game. It'd have been pretty cool to see a barrel full of whatever items are inside. Placing lava on top of a block will cause lava droplets to seep below. But for some reason, the drops of lava aren't able to hurt mobs or catch things on fire. It makes no sense! When you craft stairs, something strange happens. Somehow, 6 blocks of wood equals 4 stair blocks, which doesn't add up since each stair isn't a full block. I guess Steve is just really wasteful with his wood. If you're constantly getting lost in caves, there's a simple solution. Place torches on the right side of the wall. So now when you're trying to find the exit, you can just follow the left side torches. Finally, I'm out! Channeling tridents are great for electrifying mobs, but the main downside is that you might accidentally kill the mob. There's a solution though. Channeling tridents actually work on item frames. So next time you want to charge a creeper, just throw the trident at an item frame to safely convert it. If you're being chased by phantoms, never jump into the water. Phantoms surprisingly ignore the water and can glide right at you. Ah! Help me! How quickly does a hopper transfer items? A hopper can can move 9,000 items per hour, or 150 items per minute. Although this might sound fast, it's relatively slow for most contraptions. This transfer rate often leads to clogs and storage machines that rely on fast item movement. Darn it, my machine broke again! If you hold Alt while scrolling through the world options, you'll land on the debug world. Here you'll find every single Minecraft block and their various block states. You can even change your game mode and do some pretty cool survival challenges here. Beacons are extremely tough blocks since they're made out of obsidian. However, they can actually be mined with a fist and the item will drop. If I had to guess, Mojang probably doesn't want your hard-earned beacon to break just because you used the wrong tool. By combining a glass pane with a map inside of an item, you'll lock the map state. This way you can keep logs of how your base changed over time. If you get stuck on top of the nether roof without any items and in hardcore, how do you get out? There's actually a way out and it doesn't involve any cheating. While you may think this is impossible, the solution is pretty simple. All you have to do is open your world to land so your friends can join and rescue you. But what if I don't have any friends? You're out of luck. To activate the conduit, you need to surround it with at least 16 prismarine blocks, which will reveal the blue heart in the center. However, if you place up to 42 prismarine blocks around it, the range of the conduit's effects will increase from 32 to 96 blocks. When fully maximized, the heart in the center opens up and changes to a yellow color, resembling an eye. The bottom side of droppers make for quite a pretty floor design, and with so many of them on the floor, you can also hide your valuables in one of them. The chances someone finds the exact one with all your gear is extremely low. Campfires
hey.
can be used to cook food, but they can also
Okay.
be used as a hidden switch. By placing
4 minutes left and I end the
Creates
stream.
a system that detects when the campfire is turned on or off. This setup can be used to control hidden doors, allowing them to open when you extinguish the campfire. With 9 diamonds, you can craft a diamond block, and if you change your mind, you can revert it back into individual diamonds. However, the same isn't true for nether wart. While you can craft a nether wart block from 9 nether warts, once crafted, you can't convert it back into individual nether warts. This is intentional because nether wart blocks are super easy to get in crimson forest biomes. Allowing them to be reverted would make farming for individual nether warts almost pointless. When you think of falling blocks, sand and gravel likely come to mind. However, in the bedrock edition of the game, snow layers also behave like falling blocks. If there's nothing beneath them, they will fall straight to the ground. How do you create a randomizer in Minecraft? Unfortunately, since the copper golem lost the mob vote, we're not getting a random button presser. However, there's a simple workaround. Place an observer next to a sapling. The observer will detect whenever the sapling attempts to grow. For more frequent random outputs, use multiple saplings. Make sure to have a block on top though so the sapling never fully grows into a tree. Rabbit stew is one of the most useless items. When you eat it, you'll regain 5 hunger bars, which may seem good at first until you realize that you would have gained more hunger bars by just eating the ingredients themselves to gain 6.5 hunger bars. It's a scam! With the introduction of auto crafters, gold farms have become so much better. Instead of storing thousands of gold nuggets, you can now automatically compact them into gold blocks using the crafters. What's the best way to fill this hole with water? Instead of placing water block by block, try this faster method. Place ice columns around the sides of the walls. Then mine the ice columns downwards, and the water will spread evenly across your pool. Chainmail armor is almost impossible to craft. While we have access to chain items, Mojang hasn't enabled their crafting into armor. Luckily, a developer coded this mod, so if you really like chainmail armor, this will let you make it. The smithing table used to look very different. Currently, it resembles a sturdy workbench. However, when it was first added in Snapshot 18W44A, the smithing table looked more like a reinforced crafting table. It must have seemed too similar, as the texture was updated in the following update to the version we're all more familiar with now. This is a tiny chessboard. It's made using the Immersive Portals mod and shrinks down an entire board to fit on a single oak log. Although the pieces aren't functional, we can make the villagers and pillagers fight using commands. It looks super epic and is definitely my favorite decoration. Have you ever noticed something peculiar when filling up a composter? If you look closely, the texture inside the composter is actually the same as Ponzo. Talk about a reality check. If you're tired of boring stairs, try these. It's a staircase made out of just water blocks, and you can swim right through them. However, I'm not quite sure if this is a water slide or water staircase. What do you think? While you can't water clutch in the nether, there's an alternative that's just as good. If you place a boat and get inside, you'll negate all fall damage. The timings are difficult to master, but it's a lot better than just dying from fall damage. As an added bonus, if you have a lot of boats, you can use boats to skip across large lava pools. One of the simplest farms you can create is a snow farm. To To do this, simply build a snow golem by stacking 2 snow blocks and adding a pumpkin on top. Once your golem is in place, mine the snow layers that form beneath its feet. This method provides an unlimited supply of snow. Get off my chest! If a cat sits on top of a chest, you won't be able
Okay.
to open it. I say, get it!
I'm going on a Zoom call. I'm zooming in.
Dispense from-
So, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. It might become the shortest live I ever got. And I'll see you tomorrow.